Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Happy, thankful Thursday to you all. Thank you so much for tapping in and jumping into the best live chat on the internet and the most electrifying comment section on the planet. All right, we got a show for you today. I promise you, I won't be doing this every night, but this is the last week of rehearsal for Chief Executive Second Born's play. The play is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. They don't have rehearsal tomorrow. They have rehearsal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's an all-day rehearsal, and then the show is off. So I'll be back to normal by Thursday next week. So thank y'all, everybody, for being patient with me. But hey, as far as I can tell, Candace has not disappointed us at all. So you know what? Let's get at it. All right, I do notice a couple things. Today's show is super short. It's only 50 minutes long. Actually 47 minutes long. What happened? I do have my bingo board popping and ready. Let me bring that in real quick, and then we're going to jump into it. I appreciate everybody. If you want to play bingo, the bingo board link is down in the description of the video, of course. But I got this thing. I got feds. I got any kind of bots comments, planes, weird. Random tip. I have messages. Call out random country. I know Erica's going to be in here. I know Betrayal is going to be in here, but I'll wait till it pops up. Cows? How did I have cows in here? What are we talking about? Psyops, Macabre, random church or pastor call out, Dream, Ben Shapiro, Hunch, Israel. Shout out to Gary over at Paramount Tactical. FBI, lies, Bible references, random YouTubers, Burrow instead of burial. And then lastly, Andrew Colvin. I know Andrew's in there, so I already know Andrew. Andy's going to catch some strays. I already know it. So let's get at it. Let's get going. Okay, I'm just looking through the chat. Hold on, what y'all saying? What did you say here? The glaze I see in her chat is diabolical. I call everyone who disagrees with her a cult. Okay, whatever. Whatever. We're just here to laugh at her. I encourage you, if you engage with Cantifa, by the way, Cantifa, y'all get on back up here to the front of the church. Don't be trying to sit back there in the back, as well as TPUSA people. Now, y'all did the right thing, but y'all still got to come up here and sit close to the front of the church. If you engage with Cantifa people, just mock them. Don't engage with them on Twitter. Don't engage with them on X, try to get into the nuance and try to explain. Just drop a silly emoji and leave them alone. Just drop a silly gift and keep on scrolling. Don't even engage them. Don't waste your time. The good free will that God has given your thumbs, don't waste that time on these people. Just make fun of them. We're not here to rehabilitate Cantifa. We are here to make fun of Cantifa. It is the work of the Holy Spirit that's going to change their lives, and he's going to do it on the back of me making fun of them. That's just going to be what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's get at it. Y'all know how we like to do it. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Let's go. Oh, shout out to Natalie. Yo, real quick, Natalie Denise over there on X. We need to know, how much is this jacket worth? Natalie has been calling out Candace for her attire for weeks. So we need to support Natalie. Let Natalie know we appreciate her calling out Candace's attire. I mean, I don't know. I'm a dude and I only wear hoodies, so I don't know what's fashionable or not. But ladies, with no further ado, green hearts in the chat. Let's go.
All right, you guys. Arizona, you should know, is an at-will employment state. What that means is that employers can fire you for any reason at all. It's not illegal for them to do so, but the question is it immoral for them to do so after the company rakes in $250 million off the back of its founder's assassination, and employees are working overtime to help make that happen? I'll let you guys decide, because the stories that are coming out right now, first-person accounts over a round of firings, stories are stunning, truly stunning. We also now have a never-before-seen text message, which Charlie Kirk received, this time from a loving, very loving Christian Zionist donor. And I want to be clear, it reads to me like a threat. Again, I will let you guys decide. Let's jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace.
All right. All right. Let's see what this sounds like a complete nothing burger from the word go. There's nothing in this. I already know it. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna just tell you exactly what she's doing. She's trying to stir up that Turning Point is bad people because they culled some of the people in the herd. Whether these people say that they were working hard and working overtime and they were good employees, but then they found out they got the pink slip. It's got to be bad that they did it because Turning Point has brought in all this money and they should be able to keep everybody, whether they're doing the job well or whether they're doing the job poorly. It doesn't matter. They should not fire anybody because they made all this money. That's what she's going to say. I'm going to go on a limb. I have not seen it yet. I got a feeling that we are going to get nothing verifiable about this alleged text message from the quote unquote person that sent a text message to Charlie Kirk. I'm just going to go on a limb. That is nothing going to be verifiable that we can say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So let's get it. Let's get at it. Let's go.
Look, Charlie was threatened. He was threatened a lot, I would say, threatened financially. And I want to be clear, it wasn't just by Jewish donors, but also by Christian Zionist donors. What is Christian Zionism? We're all wondering. We're having that conversation now as a society. Like, what does this actually mean? Doesn't feel too Christian. It kind of feels like here is how Christians better behave and act.
So real quick, I just want you to keep track of how many topics she brings out. So she started out with Christian Zionism. Oh, by the way, if the mods could please grab Cinema Shogun over there on X, that dude is a beast, because he does like cliff notes of the show. And so I'm over here cracking jokes and he's over here writing sentences and writing paragraphs. So I want you to just keep track of how Cinema Shotgun or Shogun. I thought it was Shogun. Okay. Mods, help me out, brothers and sisters. I just want you to keep track of how many times she brings up new topics. Okay, let's go.
And we're going to try to package it in a Bible verse. That's
Bible
how it's
reference.
To feel to me. And I think a lot of people, well, this is
Israel.
Not going to help. Let's just back up. In July, we know that's when things went sideways for Charlie Kirk, right? He stepped out of line because he hosted Tucker Carlson at their SAS event in July. And I want to be clear here. If we're just asking ourselves the question, what exactly did Tucker do or say that was so controversial? Nothing at all. He asked reasonable questions that were on everybody's mind, questions about Jeffrey Epstein. That's pretty fair to open that conversation. He asked about why it seems he's somehow protected, where his money came from. He asked about Israeli blackmail operations. Tucker, for being clear here, what Tucker did was he was honest. Take a listen.
How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting US president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any.
I wonder, do you add your dad to that mix since your dad worked for the CIA, Tucker? But I guarantee you his dad will somehow or another get a duck and cover. His dad will not catch any strays over that. Just something I noticed.
I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave, you're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government?
Oh, Tucker, but it is forbidden. You look out in an audience, they're cheering, they agree with you because it makes sense. But Tucker, to some people in this society, if we're being honest, they do view us as slaves. They've given us the illusion of freedom. They gave Charlie the illusion of freedom. Yeah, Charlie, go out there, fight for free markets and capitalism. This is your company. This is your organization. You built this. You were young. You didn't get into West Point, and you built this because you care about free markets and capitalism. And of course, free speech. And then when Charlie started prodding the narrative about Israel, suddenly he realized he wasn't a free man. He wasn't a free man at all. And he wasn't even free to invite who he wanted to invite to speak on his stage. You know, I showed you guys that text thread. I could show you more, where Charlie was saying that he's thinking that he wants to invite Candace. Well, also, I can confirm to you today that on September 9th, amongst a smaller pool of TPUSA employees, Charlie sent a text saying, day before he died, that he wanted to invite me to AmFest. Yeah, no, that wasn't allowed to happen because this Tucker speech wasn't allowed to happen. That speech was disobedient to Israel's aims. I'm going to now read you an unhinged text message that Charlie received, this time from a female Christian donor, Zionist, of course. And as I read this, I want you to keep in mind that this information, once again, is being shared to you from me, not from Charlie's closest.
You know, I think it's adorable that on the heels of her getting shellacked on Twitter about the fact that she was working for Turning Point all while she's been disparaging Turning Point. She was under an NDA all this time, just till recently. She's been talking all this trash, but she didn't seem to mention that. She didn't seem to bring that up. And y'all might have forgotten, you know, the rule. Y'all remember the rule, don't you? About this? You remember the rule?
But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20.
So the fact that she didn't tell us that she was under NDA with TPUSA all while she was talking this big trash, that doesn't need to get, you know, fleshed out, talked about, or whatever. We need to talk about something else. I just want you to think about that. Just something to keep in mind. Let's go, Candace. What you got to say, Can?
Friends over at Turning Point USA who purport to care about what happened to him, purport to want the truth to get out, except not when it comes to the pressure that Charlie was under in the months leading up to his assassination, pressure that was coming from donors. These people, in fact, wouldn't dare utter a bad word about Israel. Tons to say about Candace Owens. They're not going to send any legal letters over to anybody that is pro-Israel. Yeah, it seems that that's the way, right? Not for a single second do they want to betray the Israel narrative. Israel as a friend and ally, not just the United States, but of course to Charlie Kirk until the very end. Now, I'm letting you know that I have copy and pasted this message and sent it to my team and sent it back because I want to make sure that where and who this message came from is not obvious. But this is a real message. Andrew.
Why did you say that? You copied and pasted it and sent it to your team so that nobody knows where it came from is not obvious. Why did you say that? That seems interesting. We might need it to be obvious at this point in the game. Candace, you have been so duplicitous. Dare I say you've lied so much, Candace, that maybe you do need to just be outright. Here it is. But let's see. Let's see.
Kovac can confirm it's real. Erica Kirk can confirm it's real that Charlie Kirk received this.
Andrew and Erica.
Okay. all of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me. Why would you platform anti Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the ninth commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but he is going to lift his hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, but it's in a Bible verse. So he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did.
So let me make sure I got it right. So this was given to Charlie allegedly on the 9th. And then the next day they put his head to bed. So they made that decision right then. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Candace, I need to see all the metadata on this. There's no reason for me to believe that any of this is true. You say that you emailed, or you say that Erica and Andrew, Eric and Andrew are leaving you on red. They're not engaging with you. So you have to show and prove. You're making the assertion. You have to show all the evidence. Erica and Andrew and TPUSA do not. You have to. This is your claim. You got to you have to prove it.
Feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot.
Isn't it funny now you realize now Israel has entered the chat again. Remember, Israel had left the group chat last week. Israel wasn't getting it. It was TPUSA every day, TPUSA until recently. I just think that's funny. Now maybe I might be reading into it too much. I might be, trying to make an assertion, but it was, TPUSA until now. Now all of a sudden it is back to all things Israel. All roads lead back to Israel. Okay, let's go.
And this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech? Tucker's totally reasonable speech speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, he harmed children. And he is being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel.
What about Jeffrey, your boy Weinstein? How about Andrew Tate? Candace, you might really want to tap out of this one. You might not be prepared for this conversation, Candace. So all of this smoke that you're giving to Israel, how about the smoke in your own house? Like, worry about your own yard. Sweep around your own door. That's all I'm saying. Let's go.
Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. He's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something. It's really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message?
Okay, real quick. I want to make sure that I told y'all the audio, I don't know what it is. I thought I figured it out, but apparently I don't know why her audio is super low when she streams. I have to like download it and then upload it to get it right. So let me know how it sounds now.
You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up employees and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later. Before we get to that proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very
All right. How that face is kind of a perfect pause. I was not going to do that on purpose, but shout out. Okay, you can't hear it. Hold on one second. Let me. I don't know why. Here we're gonna do a little community. We're gonna take a little service break. Okay, I have no idea what the problem is. It's not with any other websites except Candace's. I don't know why, but I can't get her audio to come in loud. I don't know why. It's crazy. And it's super frustrating. I've tried many different ways, and I'm just not getting it to work right. So I'm going to fix it real quick. And hopefully this will bring the resolution to it. I apologize to y'all, but thank you so much for tapping in with me and being patient. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it's me or what, but I've tried everything under the sun to fix it in real time. But now I have to just literally download it and upload it. Download it and then run it through a processor so it can sound a little bit better. Let me see real quick if this works. I might save me a step. All right, let's try it like this. All right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna bring it back in. Let's just tell me what it sounds like.
all of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including
Okay. All right, let's see if that is sounding better. Why is it not playing through my headphones? All right, let's try it real quick.
me. Why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well,
Okay, so it does sound better.
Disagree with.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Tucker's totally reasonable
All
speech.
right.
Speaking about Jeffrey Epstein, hey, he harmed children. And he is being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel. Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. He's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something. It's really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message? You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up employees and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later. Before we get to that proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very interesting tip, which unfortunately means that our established column that we built on our Excel sheet about, I don't know, everywhere that we investigate, there seems to be this theme regarding adults that have been accused credibly, or people that have gone to prison for and actually have been tried and found guilty of sexual contact with minors, right? That list we have built out for you. Well, this time,
She is doing some major guilt by association. She's doing some major. This is really crazy. Uh, Shout out. Y'all said that the audio does sound better. Okay, cool. All right. I apologize for that, y'all. I have no idea, but we're gonna either reroute it again tomorrow and just take it apart and start over again tonight. But thank y'all so much for your patience. I appreciate all 790 of y'all that have jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Let's go. Here she comes.
Time it grows, and it is in relation to, though she was not her directly, Lori Francevy, Erica's mom. Lori Francevy and Larry Ginta. That Larry, Lawrence Buinta, is Erica's stepfather. And they have a repeat business partner, a repeat business couple, Shelley and Lyle Reams, meaning they form businesses with these people. Now, Lyle Reams ostensibly is Native American, a part of the, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Tohono O'odham Nation. Back in 1998, Lyle Reams was tried and indicted. He was indicted for sexual conduct with a minor under the age of 15. He was about 41 at the time, and we can show you this. You can look at this case. You can scroll through to understand what happened. The case made its way through the court system for a year and a half, during which time the young victim even gave a victim impact statement before the case was dismissed without prejudice in 1999. Without prejudice means that the victim has a right to bring about the charges again, and without prejudice. Anyways, this
What's that got to do with anything?
Was
Candace, come on. Are you for real? Like, come on, for real? Is that really is that really where you've come to now, Candace? We done brought Native Americans up in this joint. Okay, how many? Hold on real quick. Let me pull this in. All right, real quick. All right. I'm gonna call out a random country. I think the Native Americans qualify as a random country. Why? I need to have her mom in here. Like, she is not going to stop. She's just going to keep bringing in whatever she can to make something happen. That's embarrassing. Candace, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
A bar to entry for Lori and Larry to pursue a business with Lyle, because fast forward to 2017, and together they filed to open a business located on a Native American reservation in a town called Socoton, Arizona. Maybe it's Socoton. Socoton, for reference, has a population today of just 3,254 people. 40% of those people are children. 95% are, Native American. So what exactly could represent, this is my question, a legitimate business interest amongst the Native American population on a Native American reservation? Remember, this is at a time when Lori is doing defense work for the Department of Justice. That's what she moved to Arizona for. What's their interest here? According to the formation docs, the business that they filed is called Desert Spirit Tech, LLC. Okay. Her name here is now Lauren, Lorin, rather than Lori, which is other business documents. And in looking through these docs, the place of business listed for the place of business that's listed, full stop, is 26 Rose and Thoby.
Okay. What are we actually learning, boys and girls? What are we actually learning? We've learned that Candace is so low. How low is she? Low enough that a worm has to crawl over her. Like, what does this have to do with anything? You done found all this information about Erica's mom from 1986, but you had no information about the fact that you were working for Turning Point as recently as last year. Like, where's that contract? Where's that NDA, that cease and desist? Where's that? Like, why? Okay. All right, Cantifa. Is this what y'all, this is your person. This is your girl, y'all. This is your person. All right. It makes no sense to me.
Okay. Well, that address does not appear to exist. Rose and Thoby is an intersection. If we can pull this up live so you can see what we're seeing. If we're wrong, we're happy to correct this. Rose is its own street. Thoby is its own street. The intersection, which we're going to zoom in on here, is let's get in close there, because there's just maybe one building that you could maybe say was on Rose and Thoby. Yeah, okay. We don't have a 26 Rose and Thoby. That doesn't exist. Okay. Maybe it's that building. That's the only thing that looks like a building to me. Again, I don't know what that building's doing. There's another business.
We don't know what
on
you're
the same
doing.
road that is owned by Mr. Lyle Reams and his wife Shelly, which is called Generation 7 Farms. In theory, it should be right next door to Lori and Larry's Spirit Tech, as its address is 21 Rose and Thoby. Sadly, alas, we cannot find that one on a map either. Maybe you guys will have better luck. But what we can discern from the filing of Desert Tech is that Lauren Francevy is listed as a 20% stakeholder in the business. Larry Guinta, her husband, is also listed as a stakeholder and as the business's registered agent. But what is not immediately discernible, however, is what exactly this Spirit Tech does. Fortunately, it is required by law in, and I think every country, I mean, in every state, maybe not all of them, that when you form an LLC, you have to then publicize that you are doing so in a local newspaper and provide a general description of your intended business operations. So I thought, great, that's an angle. Oddly, however, Larry, who, by the way, is an agent, remember, he's the registered agent on the business, Larry and Lori and the other two decided that for this business, they would issue the public notice in the Arizona Chinese News, okay? Here is proof, which they filed with the state, of their public notice. They got it notarized by Arizona Chinese American publication saying, hey, we did it. We ticked off that box.
Y'all, for real, are we really digging through? What in the merciful name of God are you talking about, Candace? What is this? This is craziness. This is some crazy work. This is wild work. Like, who cares? What's this got to do with Charlie? Does that say 2017? I think it says 2017 on there. What's that got to do with anything? Wow. She got Cantifa going in circles, y'all.
By filing about what our business was going to be, it's done. Cool. This is in December of 2017. You can see the state received it on December 6th. They signed this on December 1st. Okay. Now, the Arizona Chinese newspaper, by the way, that's recognized. You can do that. It's not illegal. It's recognized by the state as an optional publication to meet the requirement. But as far as publications go, it's a bit obscure. It's not exactly accessible to non-Mandarin speakers. This is the website. So good luck trying to source a 2017 LLC public notice. Seriously, good luck. If someone finds it and you maybe receive this publication, which goes out once a week, please email me at moretips@CandaceOwens.com, because I would like to know what this tech, Easy Tech, Desert Tech, Euro Tech, all of these tech companies do exactly. For reference, per their website, the Chinese news agency was founded in Phoenix, Arizona.
So she wants me to believe that she's serious about investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination, but she is out here in the middle of the desert, out here haunting down Charlie Kirk's widow's mother's husband's business from 2017. Okay. All right. Now, mind you, just literally 5 minutes ago, she was trying to convince us that Israel did it. But now we're back over here in the middle of the desert with the Indian nation. And now that's going to be the thing. Okay. That makes perfect sense. No problem there. I totally get it.
In April of 1990, its mission is to create a cultural space for overseas Chinese and to serve the Chinese community. I find this to be all very shady. We're talking Native Americans, we've got Chinese. I don't know what this business does. This seems to be a recurring theme. Shouldn't be, especially if our government is involved. I think it should be very clear to figure out what everybody does. And maybe you're a better researcher than me. And it's especially shady given the fact that it looks like, and I'm going to prod that narrative further, that also back when Lori Francevy formed Eurotech, there was another shady character involved back in Cincinnati, Ohio. This seems to be a common theme.
Now we're back. Now we're in Ohio. Y'all, now, I mean, if we just followed on a map, if we just jumped around the literally around the globe, I mean, we got Cairo, we got Egypt, we got Texas, we got Utah, we got all these places. Illinois is in the chat. Now Ohio. I'm sorry, Delaware. We forgot about Delaware. There's so many places. Angola. Ma'am, you sound crazy as a lark. I'm sorry. There's no way you're gonna make this make sense.
And we need to look into it further. And I promise you that I am now going to, because I don't like when people send legal letters to my house because I'm telling the truth. I just don't like it. Anyway, we'll be right back after a brief break, and I'll tell you about a recent round of firings happening at the company. All right, you guys.
All right. So now she's going to. So she's mad. She's big mad because how dare you sue me? How dare you drop legal letters on my doorstep when I'm quote unquote telling the truth? Well, then why are you not talking about that then? Why are you dragging stuff up, making it seem like you're somebody that's just out for revenge and trying to destroy? If you were really about the truth, then you say, hey, let me explain to you. Here is the truth that contradicts what they said in that letter. And read the letter. Why don't we have the letter at this point? Why don't we have that? Why are you, it seems like you're just on a vindictive mission to besmirch these people's names as best you can and find whatever slop you can find from your mommy sleuths and Cantifa crazy people to dig up. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but I appreciate it nonetheless. We got a new member. Shout out to ex-favorite daughter. You're our favorite. Thank you so much for being a brand new member. What does Phantom say with the 2? That message is fake. She would have shown it earlier. That's what I'm saying. Like Candace, it's on Candace at this point. We start from the point that you're lying. Candace, you have to prove differently. Shout out again with the 2. Christians do not call themselves Zionists. I don't know many people who do. They might, again, the term is totally, is not a term that everybody uses. And I'm sorry, but Candace does. We Christians who are Zionists do not say that. Thank you so much again, Phantom. I don't know what, but Candace does, because Candace is not a Christian. I'm telling y'all. Confession of the Kool-Aid Addict says this with the 2. Did you ever open my email with candy bingo bucks? I did. You're right. I sure did. And I have it, and I did not. Okay, give me a second because I'm having some audio problems, as y'all can tell. So we will add that to it. I will. Thank you so much for that. Phantom says this again. People use Indian LLCs to get government business. Okay. Hey, I'm trying to figure out why Candace is consumed with it. Like, why is that an issue? Okay, fine. They found favorable reasons to start their LLC in the Indian nation. Kind of like Candace found favorable reasons to start her LLC in Delaware. Uh-oh, shots fired. SC Dog says this with the 5. Native American reservations are governed differently than the states. Does she not realize that? I don't. Why are we even talking about it? Like, that's the part I don't get. Like, why is she even trying to make that a thing? For what? Like, for what reason, Candace? All right, let me bring my bingo in here real quick. Sorry about that. Oh, she looks mad. All right, let me see. I think I got everything. Oh, I know she's gonna say something about she got a message, because that's what she about to show. Talking about the people getting fired. All right, let's keep it on. Shout out for sure. Let's go.
Told you how I received a legal letter in part for noting that a bunch of military men seem to have infiltrated Turning Point USA. That was one of the sentences. You said military men infiltrated Turning Point USA. Well, this is a fun tweet that somebody pulled up from Tyler Boyer, the former COO. He wrote this September 25th, 2018. He wrote, "We do have a team. We can only do as much as police on campus will allow, and also working with police or private security in a given venue. We run everything like a military op. All of our people are from that background." Oh, I told the truth. Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to.
Ooh, wow.
A lawyer to send Tyler Boyer.
Who said that? Brian Harpel basically said that. Candace, why don't you let us read the letter? Why don't you let us read the letter instead of interpolating it for us? Because I'm starting to think that maybe you're not telling us what the letter says. It sounds like you're just telling us how to think and what to think about it without actually giving us the information for us to derive that from. I might be crazy.
A letter. Anyway, guys, got to get into this firing thing. I have a lot now, and I got to organize it over the weekend and things to give to you guys. And it's good because we're about to have a snowstorm and I can kind of plug in. So I still don't understand what caused it. I can't get to the root of what happened. But what I can tell you is that one person got brought into an office by Andrew Colvett and was told that the CMO got into an Uber car and asked, just striking up some conversation with the Uber driver. I was like, what do you think about Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk thing? And he starts saying, oh, well, I actually have a daughter who knows somebody that works Turning Point USA, and maybe she doesn't like the stuff that's going on at the company. So an Uber driver was making small chat with an executive at Turning Point USA and said his daughter knew someone, and that person had potentially said something that he didn't really love. She didn't really love Erica at the helm. Anyways, Andrew Colvett hauls this person into the office and starts asking about this Uber conversation. And of course, the employee was like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about, and says that it was completely untrue, almost like they had fictionalized it entirely for some other reason, for some other unknown reason. Anyway, another person who had worked there gets hauled into the office by the general counsel, thinks that they are being brought in because...
That's got to be the stupidest story. The fact that she told us, she might as well just said she had a dream. Ma'am, that doesn't make, that sounds like you, I might have to rewind it. That sounds like you got that story from like a third, maybe even a fifth level person. That's some wild stuff. And so that is basically, yes, that's what this is. That's hearsay. It's gossip. But Cantifa doesn't care. Cantifa just wants the juicy bits. They want whatever will make Turning Point look bad and whatever will make them sound like they're justified in their hatred of Turning Point, Erica, and most importantly, of Christ. That's really it. They just want to be justified in their sinful behavior. My name is Jason, dearwokesy@gmail.com. All right, let's go.
They're going to get a raise or a bonus because apparently, which makes perfect sense, things have been insane, obviously. They are all really have been working nonstop. Think about the size and scale of the event that they put on at Charlie's Memorial Service. They had AmFest. They had a huge donor thing at Mar-a-Lago. So everyone's been killing themselves and no one's getting raises and bonuses. And yet, according to this person, Turning Point USA has brought in $250 million since Charlie's assassination. Good luck proving that I hurt your pockets. Like, what? I think you did just fine this year, actually. I don't think my podcast did too much there. 250.
This is interesting. So she's tacitly trying to knock down claims allegedly in the letter without actually giving you the letter. That's kind of wild. But where's your proof of this? So when Turning Point files their taxes and it comes up, let's just say it's 180,000. Okay. I mean, 180 million. Candace is already locked in that it's 250. So she's going to immediately say what? That they've embezzled $70 million or whatever. There's no proof that they brought in $250 million. You just got somebody random talking to you. And at some point, Candace has to realize that there's no evidence. She has no proof. She's just saying stuff. That's why I want them to sue her socks off. I want them to sue her socks off and send every one of her donors one of Candace's socks because then it took all her socks. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, this is not how journalism works. This is not how you investigate. This is not how you treat a brother or sister in the faith. This is not even how you treat your enemies. Let's just be honest with you. I mean, you're just gossiping, Candace. You're just straight up gossiping. And there's nothing about it that is Christian. There's nothing about it that is biblical. There's nothing about it that's even friendly. Like, not even like trying to be reasonable. Like, you're just literally making stuff up. And I told y'all she wasn't going to show us any kind of proof. So she's already given us two things. We got an Uber driver. Shout out to the Uber drivers. And some random person about to get a raise. Okay.
I can't even wrap my head around this. LOL to the PR talking point that everyone's doing this for money. I can't. That is money that I cannot even comprehend outside of random articles written in the Hindustan Times where people think that my net worth is $200 million and I have 72 houses. Yeah, that's what's happening at Turning Point USA. Anyway, another person, that person regarding the Uber thing then said, if you want to know my actual opinion, to Andrew Colby, if you want to know my actual opinion about Erica, you can just ask me. And he proceeds to go, okay. And then she kind of then illustrated that a lot of people just feel like outwardly the company is presenting like they're one big family. We're one big family. We're one big family. But then actually a lot of the employees feel that that's just a public presentation, that Erica doesn't even know their names, that only a handful of people even have access to her. And so it doesn't feel like the same company. I think that's a reasonable thing. Anyways, fired, goodbye. Within the same day, maybe the next day, I actually am not completely sure, another person gets hauled in, thinks that she's getting a raise, and actually they just tell her that she's fired, It's like thinking, I crushed it at AmFest. I am definitely about to get a raise. This company is flush with cash. Actually, you're fired. And so she asks the attorney, why am I being fired? And the attorney just says, we're going in a different direction. You don't get to have an explanation. Security is outside, leave. And so at this point, the employee hits record on their phone because they don't understand what's happening. And thankfully they did. So you can now listen to the, I guess, not excuse. There's nothing really to listen to other than her not being able to get an answer of what she did wrong. And I'm making this very clear to you. I am not kidding. I promise you on everything. I had never in my life communicate. I mean, maybe I saw her in an event. I don't know. I shouldn't say never in my life. I maybe was backstage. I never spoke to this employee once, never anything at all. Period. Not one of my sources, nothing.
Of course, never. That sounds, you're making so many effort. You're making so much effort to convince us that you've never met the person, that we totally believe that you never met the person. Right, Candace. Right. This is ridiculous. Like, okay. Like, I cannot wait.
So this can't be related to me. I don't think it's related to me, but let's take a listen anyways, because they're all convinced they're just paranoid and firing a bunch of people. Take a listen.
I mean, Frank, this is kind of wild.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know, and I know best to be here. And
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go. We're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate from.
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me.
No, I'll send you an email about offboarding instructions that essentially outlines rates that you did. So expense report, and then detailing the pay and sit out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay. So, I mean,
yeah,
this is crazy.
So we're just going to pretend like this person did her job. First of all, are we convinced that this person actually works at TPUSA? How do we know that this person is at TPUSA? Is there any proof? I mean, is that the tile? Does anybody know what kind of tiles they have in TPUSA HQ? Is this the tile? Is that consistent? That little light fixture right there? Has anybody seen that light fixture before? Like, how do we know this is at TPUSA? Is it possible this is not there? I wonder if I send her a picture and say, hey, I got fired from TPUSA. Here's a video clip of it. Like, maybe, you know what? Let's play the rest of it. Maybe she says something that identifies TPUSA.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
No, and I know you're going to keep saying I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But
Yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back.
Okay, Amfest enters the chat. Okay, cool. Okay.
Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do
it's
I
time
get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin?
How do we again? Fine. She used keywords. Do we not believe? Is there not reason to believe that this could be a skit? That this could be a bit? We know nothing about this woman's performance. We know nothing about who this woman is. We don't know who she's talking to. This could be a skit for all we know. I could turn off my camera right now and I could tell you a story. Like, how do we know this is real, Candace? Why do you believe this is real? Did you do what due diligence did Candace do to prove that this is true? Because at the current moment, all I know is that these are some ceiling tiles and somebody worked at Amfest and they're being told that they're let go. How do we know she's not a volunteer? How do we know she did a horrible job at doing whatever her job is? Like, this is some crazy work. This woman is, there's stains on the ceiling? Where? Y'all are wild, man. This is some hungry, I see a stain right there, you're right. This is some real hungry work right here. This could be a bit for all we know, man. This could be a total skit. I mean, in the world that we live in today, tell me that that is a stretch to say this could be a skit. All right, let's get done.
Or anybody or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go.
Right now, we're leaving all.
And you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation.
Hey, at this point in the game, everything is an option. Adam, the Marine gamer, that's not a bad, because they know she's going to run with it, because they know she's going to run with whatever it is. So maybe this is a skit put on by TPUSA to go to Candace, so Candace will disseminate false information. I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've heard. I like that one, actually, truth be told. This is crazy.
For this, I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat
No,
in this chair.
you're gonna do great things.
No, and I
your
plan
livelihood-
to.
I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're
Well-
very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. But if at this time, it's time for you to.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this
Because-
is the
because
treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go.
Frank, this is crazy.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming
This feels completely without
from. I
emotion.
understand where you're coming from. But at this time, I have to ask you.
Frank, I'm really not content doing that
Okay.
because I know that when I leave there, my credential's not going to get back in, and I'm never going to have the opportunity to speak with somebody at this company as to why I'm being terminated after never having my performance questioned, after never doing anything wrong, after working tirelessly through the death of Charlie. This is wild. And you can, that's completely unsatisfactory. And so I have to go home tonight with no plan, no understanding, asking for clarity multiple weeks in a row. And I'm confused. I sat in your office when that whole GC situation happened. And you
Crazy.
said, and I quote, that if you don't get that job, I'm going to personally think that you got screwed over. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting screwed over in a completely different capacity with no explanation.
Yep. I understand where you're coming from. But at this time,
So there's going to be absolutely no explanation as to why I'm terminated. So when I go to my next job,
It's a right to work state. I mean, I hate to say it, but we probably all have been in a situation like this where you get pulled in, please bring your laptop up to the front office. Please bring your laptop to the conference room and your badge. I mean, we've seen, I hate to say it, but if you're in a right to work state, they have the right to let you go. They have the right to terminate your work. I mean, I hate it. I don't understand what's the big deal. Now, and the person has not said we're letting you go because you called Candace, or we're letting you go because you disseminated information out to the the social media streets or anything of that nature, they just let her go. They don't have to have a reason. They can do that. That is their prerogative. Just like they don't have to have a reason why they hire you. They don't have to have a reason. They can just hire you and say, we want you to work here. We no longer want you to work here. Those sentences are not different. Okay, let's go.
I can't explain as to why this chapter is closed.
We're going in a different direction. with the
That's
beginning.
not an explanation, Frank.
It's the explanation that we're providing now
Providing from who?
from the organization.
From who though? Justin, from Dylan,
From the organization. I only speak for the organization. I don't.
So different direction means what? Losing people that bend their backwards for the organization, losing people that would be willing to do anything for the organization, losing people that haven't done anything wrong. Like,
I understand what you're saying, and we're taking on it, but right now it's time for you to go. And so I've taken the time to say your piece, and now it's time for you to go. So
like how? Okay. Well, this is
I honestly can't even imagine.
I'm just going to say right here, and hey, and I could be crass, and y'all are welcome to tell me that, Jason, you're being a little bit harsh, but the fact that she sent this video, this whatever, to Candace, maybe justifies the fact that maybe they saw something bad in her. Maybe they did. Again, they don't have to have a reason to fire you, but the fact that Candace has it doesn't make this woman look like a saint. I do hope she realizes that. That doesn't bolster your case that they fired you with no reason. You send it to Candace. Like, I'm sorry, that's kind of probably why you can't say that I never said anything to Candace before. Well, now you did, Becky. That's crazy work. Okay, just want to get that off my chest.
This at all. 80 to 90 hour weeks. Your CEO just got publicly assassinated and you've not stopped working since. You think you're going in because they're going to be like, hey, we've made $250 million and like, we see you. And they say, we're moving in a different direction. And we're actually, you're not even allowed to speak to everyone that you just worked for. You're not even allowed to see, and then just having beefy security guards there to walk you out. She is correct in saying that this is heartless. Is it illegal? No. You could do this. A lot of the stuff, as we've said, a common theme here is what Turning Point is doing is legal, but it's also immoral. I wouldn't do it. I would be so honest, like, look, we appreciate obviously everything you've done. You've been killing yourself. You know what? We're a little paranoid schizo right now, and we just don't know who to trust. We gotta get rid of everybody.
Okay, Candace, Candace, fine. You are so righteous and so holy and so moral. Why don't you hire that young lady and have her do work for you remotely for your podcast? If you're so above board, you're so much better than everybody else. You're above the hoi polloi. You're better than us. Why don't you hire that young lady, offer her a job to pay her to do something remote for your podcast, since you're so concerned about her? Because at the current moment, it seems like it is giving the vibe that you're using her story to bolster your case, but you don't care about the fact that she got fired. So if you really care so much, why don't you hire her and provide her a job? Then that would demonstrate that you're above, hey, Turning Point's low down, dirty, rotten. I hired the person that they fired. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that, Candace?
Erica has no trust. That's why she doesn't want to be in here, because she doesn't know who's actually the person leaking. Give that girl something. I've asked, and I've spoken to a few of the people. That same person that you heard, their general counsel, then showed up at someone's house. The setup here was crazy. What happened to this next girl is crazy, okay? Marina Minas, this is the Uber chick. The Marina Minas, she, I don't know. I guess she's the one out here. I shouldn't say sniping employees. That's not the right analogy to use, especially given the circumstances. But she's kind of involved in a lot of this for some reason. Her name keeps coming up. And so another person set up this kind of fake Zoom. This employee is part-time. It kind of set up this fake Zoom meeting. And so she's at home. She's logged in this meeting and her phone's ringing. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what happened. Allegedly, her phone's ringing nonstop. She doesn't recognize the number. She doesn't know what's happening. She's still on this call. Eventually, she picks up, and it's the general counsel. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. You're fired, and come to the door and let me in to get your work computer. And let me tell you something right now. If you try to delete anything, just so you know, we've installed something and we'll know that you did it. She has no idea what's happening. She's home with her kids, alone with her kids. She doesn't have her husband there, nothing. And so obviously she just complies. My sense when I hear that story is they thought they were going to find something. They thought there's some sort of paranoia going on. Maybe they thought the same thing with this girl. They were going to grab the tech and they were going to find something. Then this girl, but rolling up at someone's house? Like, what? Dude, this could have been an email. No one watched what's on this computer. You're good. You can literally read what's everything. This is wild to me. Again, same exact situation. I had never once spoken to that person, not through a third party, nothing. Never spoke to that person either.
Hey, in the chat real quick, do you believe that story? Do you believe that story? That the general counsel just came over to the house and said, hey, I need your computer. Like, do you believe that? Because I don't believe it at all. Now, did it happen? I don't think so. Could it have happened? Absolutely. No question about it. Where's your proof? I mean, you literally just told us the story. Like, what is the evidence that this happened? Anything. You just told us the story, Candace, and we don't know these people. We don't know what kind of work quality these people were doing. We don't know what they were doing. Maybe they've been stealing paper clips. You know, we're doing a Doge audit. Maybe they've been stealing paper clips, y'all. Hey, Becky, why do you got all this copy paper here? What's going on here? You got boxes of copy paper. What's going down here? Like, what is going on here? The fact that Candace, hey, do me a favor, y'all. If you know somebody who's a member of Cantifa, they're down bad right now. They are in a bad way. You might need to call and check on them. If you have a friend or family member, if you have a friend who's been affected by Cantifa, reach out to them. Just call them and just check on them. Like, hey, are you okay? How are you doing? Are you all right? Because Candace is down bad. And I think that her followers are going to be in a similar position. I think she's dragging them down with her. So y'all do me a favor in the chat. Just give me a green heart if you will make sure. You don't have to do it now. But can you just make sure that you reach out to anybody you know who's a member of Cantifa and just check on them? Just like, hey, are you all right? And do you have any sharp objects around you? Are you driving farm equipment? Do you have your seatbelt on? Do you have your sippy cup? I mean, like, check on them. Make sure you check on them because I think they're down bad, man. If this is what they're getting a steady dose of, straight to the main vein, we need to check on these people, man. We got to check on these folk, and we need to do our Christian service of just. Somebody says I don't have any friends. You do have friends. Okay. You don't have any Cantifa friends. Okay, I got you. Well, I mean, if you know of somebody, maybe on X or whatever, just check on them. Right? Are you okay? Are you all right? Because they got to be down bad. They got to be down bad in a bad way. This is down bad in a bad way. This woman is taking the advice of random people saying they got fired from TPUSA. And again, she's going to swear up and down that looking at the tiles of an office building, because she's going to say, well, I used to work in a building. I know those are the tiles. I know that stain on the roof. I know that. That's what she's going to say. Y'all, she down bad, y'all. They're down bad. Pray for them.
Seems like a little bit of paranoia is going on, but the manner in which they are handling this, I don't know, guys. What's your vibe? What's happening here? What could have happened that would lead to this? How do you treat people like this that are actually, I would say, remarkably staying bottled up and they should have been leaking if this is the stress they've been going through. I mean, working 80, 90-hour weeks and just being like, peace, goodbye, nothing. Again, if I'm a major donor to Turning Point USA, this is.
But the man did say you're going to get your year-end bonus. Did he not say that? Maybe I'm hallucinating. But didn't Frank say they're going to still give you your bonus? I mean, they don't have to do that, but they did. It's sad to watch Candace like scrambling and scraping for something because she has non-tent. Like, ma'am, like, go back and talk about who were the people she was talking about yesterday? Taylor Swift and the Beckham people. Go talk about that. That was still content, but now you got non-tent. There's nothing here. Like, you're not talking about anything. This is crazy.
This ain't it. This is not it. But also maybe you're the kind of donor that sends Charlie those kinds of messages. So you like it. You're into that. It feels like the right thing to do. Like everybody has got to go. And it's giving paranoid and it's giving cult-like, but this is not it. Anyway, we will have a lot more. We also now are in possession of a Zoom call, which Erica held as the new CEO just 5 days after Charlie was publicly assassinated. And one of the strangest things is that she recommends that if employees need time to grieve, that they take time off. What's strange about that is the employees are like, maybe you need to take time off because your husband just got publicly. They thought it was very strange, and apparently she didn't. Now everyone's saying she was in the office every day with Stacey Sheridan. I told you that's like the chief fundraiser lady. They're in the office every day following Charlie's assassination. They got to that $250 million, so I guess it was worth it. But the people thought it was a bit off-putting, and we have that call, and I can confirm that's not hearsay. That is true. She does recommend that they.
It is interesting that she says that's not hearsay. You know why she said that, right? You know why she said we got the Zoom call. We confirmed it is not hearsay because everything else that she said has been hearsay. It's not, that wouldn't be admissible in court. Even if there were something like it would be brought up in court, that wouldn't be admissible. There's no way of verifying the chain of command. Same thing with that text message. She kind of ruined it when she said she emailed it out to other people and so that nobody will know who it came from. That kind of ruins it. So this information is just hearsay. It's just gossip at best. And it's funny that she said that. That's adorable. Let's go.
Need to. They take time off to grieve, which is nice, but also makes me mildly uncomfortable. Anyway, you guys, we will take a brief break and we will come back. All right, you guys, if you are a homeowner, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning homeowners about a type of real estate fraud that's on the rise.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Shout out. Thank you so much to the very, very kind supers. What did Marshawn say here with the 10? It seems like she's trying to pick on Erica specifically. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt whatsoever. There's no doubt. But that's what she's been doing, and that's what she's about. So, I mean, it's consistent with who she is. Let's keep this going. Thank you so much with the 5. I live in Arizona. We'll be registering a business soon. I will post the notice in that Chinese publication just for fun. Please, could you send it to me? And I will post it and just say like, okay. Now, do you have to post it? Can you post it in other, when you register your business and you post it in a Chinese publication, could you also let me know, can you publish it in other news outlets, or why would you only publish it there? And can you do other news outlets, or is it just you got to publish it in something? And so shout out. Congratulations on your new business. I wish you the best. What do you got here, Phantom? TPUSA can let go anyone at any time. That is life. I don't understand how that's a big deal. And again, she's not confirmed this $250 alleged million, but she's going to keep saying it. She's just going to keep saying it. And that's going to become the new narrative. When the taxes come out, somebody's going to immediately say that they embezzle money if they don't have $250 million. That's it. I think it's real sound like Frank Karen TP action. Hey, I'm not saying that it's not real. What I am saying, well, no, hold on. I am saying that I don't believe it's real. I did say that. Yep. And I'm going to stand on that. Because all I'm doing is looking at somebody's ceiling tiles. Could that be 2 people doing that and just doing a bit? Is it possible that could be a bit? I don't think that's a lap too far at all. I don't believe it's a lap at all. Shout out again to Phantom with the 5. Candace Owens has never worked for a business. To come to their house is nice, actually. Instead of driving into the office, that is dangerous for the company. I mean, there you go. I don't get why she doesn't. But let me just say this. I don't know that that's true. I don't know. What evidence did Candace give us to believe that actually happened? I'm not saying it could not happen, but what did she give us that actually believe that it did happen? Thank you so much again with the 5. Why does she talk like she's always has a stuffy nose. It must be all those lies stuffed up in there fighting to come out. I love your show. Thank you so much. She just be tough. I'm sorry. What is the reason that you give her the benefit of the doubt? We're 4 months, almost 5 months into this canard. Why are you giving her the benefit of the doubt? That's my question. Serious question. Why are you giving her the benefit? All right, let's get done with this.
Actually a true story because I was going through so many emotions after Charlie's assassination, and I just communicated that to people. And we definitely obviously went through some changes on the security front, which makes sense because I think all of us in the world felt unsafe when somebody who's a good person can be assassinated in broad daylight. And I was very happy with my current security apparatus and sort of said to them as we were changing things, like, this is me. I was like, you've done nothing wrong. I am just beyond paranoid. And here's what I have to do to solve my paranoia. I just kind of blurted at them and said, you've been amazing. This is totally a me thing. It is not you. And it was great. It was such a healthy conversation. They said they totally understood and that they knew that I was going to have these sorts of concerns. And I said,
oh, wait, let me make sure I got it right. Did Candace fire her security team? The irony is crazy. Did you get rid of your security team? What if they had recorded you? Again, we're hearing this story from you, Candace. I don't trust you. I'm sorry.
I hope I can work with you down the line. I'm sure down the line, I could come back to you in 12 months and feel totally differently. But right now, I'm just in a certain state right now that this doesn't work for me in this moment. Again, they were fantastic. There was no reason other than me needing to feel like I needed to make some changes. So they could have done that. They could have been honest and said, you've been amazing and we're a little paranoid right now and we just have to go through some changes. There's no humanity in that. And I do agree with you that there is a lack of Christianity in the way that that was handled. And the fact that she thought for a second it was a joke because of how hard she had worked. It's sad. It genuinely is sad. And she's not the only one. She's just the one person who had the wherewithal to go, let me hit record because I don't know what's happening right now. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support this show, we've got new merch on the website. You can also buy our autographed bundle.
Well, I just think that's adorable that she is telling them how to behave like Christians. That's going to have to be studied by science. I mean, I'm sorry. She as one who is not a Christian, lecturing how to behave like a Christian. That's going to have to be studied by science. I'm sorry. There's just no other way around it. We got to figure this out from science. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's some crazy work. All right, we are almost, I think she's done with this little ad read right here. I want to say thank y'all so much to everybody. Let's bring it back in. I think she's still going.
To accommodate all the changes to our schedule over the weekend because the South does not do snow. I'm a Connecticut girl. We do snow. Tennessee, they don't do snow. Life shuts down for about a week. Let's read the top comment from last episode. It is from Miss Sways. She writes, we need an Erica Kirk series just like the Brigitte Macron series. Well, I do want to do perhaps not an entire series, but a couple of episodes dedicated to that, which we have been working on in the background to give everybody something solid. There's a lot of, like I said, innuendo online, some things that are true, some things that are not true. But I do think, given the size and scale of this company, the public does deserve, and since the media is never going to do it, the mainstream media apparatus is never going to do it, something that is solid and backed by facts and documents that tells you about who this new CEO is. Because I think it's fair to say she is not Charlie. I can't imagine Charlie would have allowed that to happen. That made me so uncomfortable, and I'm sure made the rest of you guys uncomfortable to listen to. But hey, the good news is we're getting a lot more information about Turning Point USA. And so there is, I guess, sort of the natural karma to that. Some more comments from today's episode. Gray Scout writes, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman, Glenn Greenwald, George Galloway, Scott Ritter, Jeffrey Sachs, Ryan Grimm, Jeremy Scahill, Amy Goodman, Jack Valley, David Grush, George Knapp, Bob Lazar, and Dr. Stephen Greer Hart. Thank you very much for saying that. Rosario writes, why can't she spell out G-O-D? It reminds me of how Erica never says Jesus Christ. She just can't say it. She only ever says the Lord or God. I wonder which Lord and God she's really talking about. Biblical Israel was a people, not a land or its government. You will not get a disagreement with me. I am Catholic about that at all. And I think, like I said, Christian Zionism has been put on trial this year, and I'm happy for that. I think we're all awakening, and this is clearly not a religion, a religious philosophy at all. They act like a cult. The behavior of them is like a cult, and it's always with this veneer of your loving Christian sister is telling you this, and you're like, why do I feel like you're going to harm me? But you are citing biblical scripture and trying to create this illusion like this is coming from the heart and is somehow not a threat. Maybe Turning Point will come out and say who that message is from. We'll see. Jason Blake writes, you do us and Charlie proud. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you do. The world is gay. Christ is king. All the best to you and yours. Thank you so much. Sugar Magnolia writes, TPUSA gives mega church series vibes now, led by Tammy Faye, Greenleaf, Righteous Gemstones. It's now giving all the things that people didn't follow and fall in love with Charlie Kirk for. Yes, I agree that Charlie Kirk, when we were hitting the ground, it was about free markets and capital, and he was never shy about discussing his faith. And like I said, it then dramatically changed, and it seems like they are now pretending to be.
So Candace wants us to believe that Charlie Kirk didn't talk about his faith anymore. That's funny because she always talks about like, how did TPUSA become so faith? It was only about free market and capitalism. She literally just said it right there. She said it was all about free markets and capitalism, but Charlie always talked about his faith. But earlier she would say like, how did it become so faith heavy? Like the woman can't keep the lies going. She down bad, y'all. She down bad. She down bad.
A faith organization. Well, if you are going to pretend to be an organization that is dedicated to faith, then maybe treat your employees better than that. I don't know. I think that's a fair ask from the public. Cohen Film writes, there needs to be a TPUSA alternative that is America first and not Philadelphia first to reach young Americans. Young people avoid TPUSA. I think that will be the natural occurrence is when something will rise, take its place, when something becomes stale or dishonest or corporate, which, by the way, like I said, was exactly what Charlie set out to disrupt. He wanted to become the new RNC. He felt that people just gave the RNC millions, and yet they had no impact on the youth generation. He wanted to change that, and he did change that. And now it seems like in the wake of his assassination, it's becoming the new RNC, but with a faith bent. Is that fair? I think that's fair. I think my opinion is very fair. Yeah, I agree with you. I think something naturally will rise to take its place, and I think they know that. I think that.
Interesting. That is very interesting. I think, and I told y'all this, I think Candace is trying to get a fire sale. She's trying to burn the building down so she can buy it for cheap. She wants to run it over so that she can swoop in and get whatever vestiges are left of TPUSA and turn it into, Candace Owens party or whatever. Because she's not doing anything. You do realize Candace isn't doing anything that would even rival TPUSA. So where would it come from? Like, if you know all this stuff and you are a mason of starting TPUSA, which was a lie, but if that's true, why can't you go ahead and start your own thing now? You don't need TPUSA to be in shambles for you to start your own thing, Candace. The problem is you can't. Nobody would come to watch you. Nobody would come to engage with you. Nobody cares what you have to say. So that's why you do this here in your basement rather than taking it on the road. Because nothing would stop you from going. Well, maybe this weekend is supposed to snow down here in the South, but nothing has stopped you from outside of the weather from going to college campuses and doing that. Nothing, not one thing. Because we know you're not homeschooling. We know you're not making Georgia a sandwich. We know you're not doing anything valuable. So why are you not doing that? I just asked that question.
That's really what these legal letters are about. You cannot, however, sue your way into relevancy. You cannot sue your way into public favor. It doesn't work. That's old world mentality thinking. The people that are giving you that advice are wrong. And you are going to, like I said, it's a difficult hill to climb to say that you're being hurt by these videos when you raked in $250 million in a couple of weeks. I think it's a tough hill to climb. Maybe it's not. Maybe.
I think it's adorable. Why don't you read the letter to us, Candace? Because I feel very comfortable that that's not all that they said. She makes it sound like the only reason they were suing her is because of her saying that the people shouldn't support TPUSA and ask for their donations back. But that's not it. Or is it? Maybe we would know. Maybe that is it. If you showed us the letter, Candace, we would know. We can say, oh, that's it. But I think we all know that it's not it. That's not it. All right, let's get
You've
done.
got some judges in your pockets. Who knows? It's Arizona. Maricopa County is one of the most corrupt counties in the nation. But
wow. She just said that you got judges in your pocket. Do y'all know where else do y'all know where else allegedly another place that has judges in their pockets? Put in the chat. That's wild. So she knows she's gonna lose. She already knows she's cooked. She already knows let me back that up so y'all can hear that. She already knows she's cooked. I'm trying to see if anybody gonna say it in the chat. Let me back up. I think I got it right. Let's see right here.
I agree with you. I think something naturally will rise to take its place. And I think they know that. I think that's really what these legal letters are about. You cannot, however, sue your way into relevancy. You cannot sue your way into public favor. It doesn't work. That's old world mentality thinking. The people that are giving you that advice are wrong. And you are going to, like I said, it's a difficult hill to climb to say that you're being hurt by these videos when you raked in $250 million in a couple of weeks. I think it's a tough hill to climb. Maybe it's not. Maybe you got some judges in your pockets. Who knows? It's Arizona. Maricopa County is one of the most corrupt counties in the nation. But outside of that, it just doesn't even make sense to pretend that you're hurting financially, especially as you are now getting rid of a bunch of people on your payroll. And I guess you're going to bring some new people in, and they're going to be questioned about their allegiance to Erica or something. Who knows? Anyway, that's what we have for you today, you guys. We will hopefully see you on Monday. We don't know how much snow we are going to get. Like I said, the infrastructure
You're in your
here,
basement.
they just do not plow the roads because in the north we have businesses and free markets get in there and don't have to rely on the government, but there'll be like a plow business. Everything is pretty much plowed overnight. Down here, the governments just don't have enough trucks and the roads don't stay plowed for a long time. And so it could be a bit of a slip and slide, and we may not have a show due to weather on Monday. Hopefully that is not the case. I'll let you know on social media. We will hopefully see you guys then.
All right. Okay, I got something funny to show y'all. And okay. Y'all please check on hold on. What did somebody say? Hold on. I'm having some audio issues over here. I'm trying to keep it all together. I'm trying to reset the system while I'm talking. Wait, somebody just said something. Hold on. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. We almost got 1,000 come on, y'all. Come on. I see 1,000 on my end. I see 1,024. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. When I tell you that Candace is down bad, I want you, this is when I'm telling y'all, check on your Cantifa friends. Maybe you don't even have Cantifa friends. That's okay. It's probably good not to have Cantifa friends. Reach out to the people that support Candace, and I'm going to show you why you should reach out to them. But first, shout out to the best live chat. What do you say here? Seriously need to figure out why she keeps looking like she's wearing a hijab. That's personally, I think she rage baits people by doing certain things that she knows is going to get a reaction, because it's not normal to do that. And I think she does that on purpose. That's my 2 cents. But thank you for the $5 super. What's going on with the $20 New Zealand? In all cases, Candace thinks she suffers more than everyone. That's a great point. Even more than Erica, who lost her best friend. I mean, I love it. I love the way you said that. Thank you so much, Path. Thank you so much here, Stephanie, with the $10. She has the nerve to talk about Christian compassion after she's treated Erica the way she has. Wow. I'm telling you, it's going to have to be studied by theologians and science. I mean, absolutely. The great catch. Jedi says this: the only thing in Candace's life that is more fake and gay than her relationship with her husband is her relationship with the truth. Good gracious, man. Y'all are beasts, man. Y'all are harsh on the girl. Y'all harsh on her. Thank you so much for the 5. Candy now will try to destroy Erica because she is livid that they filed against her. In a narcissist's brain, neurons misfire, and vengeance is cruel and proprietary. And proprietary. Proprietary is cruel and priority. Priority. Sorry about that. I need to put my glasses on. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, rounding these bases. Cindy says, Jay, can we plan a field trip to Candace's channel just long enough to write, Candy is jealous of Erica? That would have been funny. Dog, why didn't you tell me that before? That would have been pretty funny. We will do that. I think that would be a good little field trip. But you know what? Hold on. Let me tell you the mind of Cantifa. The mind of Cantifa, they will take that as an assault. They'll take that as the Jay Witt podcast is attacking Candace. We need to go over there and review bomb, or we need to go over there and report the channel, mass report the channel. They do that kind of stuff because they're not hinged properly. The best you can do is when you know a person who's in Cantifa, just check on them. All right, let me show you this because y'all know I've been keeping up on this, okay? And I think this is very telling, very, very telling. Well, Jason, what is it today? I'm glad you asked. Well, I'm looking at Candace's playboard. All right, and let me zoom out so we can see what we're talking about. And again, Candace does pretty well, but I'm gonna show you. Let me show you the home page real quick. So if you ever go here, most live viewers right here, right? Now, Candace used to be at the top of the pile all the time with most live viewers. That's not the case. Okay. She's number 2 now. She was number 3 a moment ago, but she also used to be over here on most super chatted. She used to be on here on most super chatted. She's not now. Oh, and Baron Coleman's on here. That's wild. I wonder if that's going to do something to her, their relationship. So what you do is you just click on, so if you're on playboard.co, click on Candace's thing right here. Okay. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to super chats. And I don't care about how much money she brings in. That's not the argument that I'm making. So I don't, that's not what I'm worried about. I want to talk about how much support she's getting or not getting. All right. So scrolling down, okay, you can see right here. You can see pretty much right here. There's a lot of, lots of money coming in, right? But this doesn't tell you how many super chats she's getting, because I think that's more telling than anything else. So scroll down here. On Monday, she got 66 super chats. Let me move this out of the way. Sorry about that. Now I bring that up because that's a huge drop for her. That is a monstrous drop for her. Then the next day she got 187. So we're trending up. Wait. Then she went down to $1.20, 120. And then today she got 78. Her support is going down. The support is going down. Now the numbers, hey, look, a lot of us would be very happy with what she makes in a week. I ain't mad at you. I agree with you 100%. I'm only looking at how much support she's getting from Cantifa. Cantifa is not digging in their pockets like they were. And so the question is, why are they not? Why are they not supporting their queen? Why are they not supporting she and her investigation, all that kind of stuff like that? Why are they not doing that? Yesterday when she was making the plea that she was going to pay off Turning Point, why did they not rush out there to support her? I think because they're tired out. I don't think they're there to support her. I really don't. Now I could be making that up and maybe somebody else can come up with a different theory pertaining to it. I don't think Cantifa is supporting Candace like they used to do. And I think it's starting to wear out. This story, this long theory, because you notice she's abandoned the time travel and the aliens. She's gotten rid of the dreams. She's not talking about those anymore. Remember, that was going to be her thing. The dreams was about to lead us to the promised land. Now we are here at an Indian reservation and we're looking at ceiling tiles. How did we get here? Like, why are we looking at ceiling tiles when you're supposed to be leading us to the promised land through these dreams and visions and aliens and the multiverse? I think she's burning out her people. So if you know somebody who's a member of Cantifa, just check on them because they're down bad. They are down bad. They're in a bad way. And they might need some help. They might need some help. This might be their chance to, throw away their membership card and just join us normal people making fun of Cantifa. Thank you so very much for this. What did you say here? Yeah, Cindy, I don't want, look, thank you for the 2. I try not to weaponize my audience because I'll tell you this. Let me just here. It's story time with Whitaker. Story time with Whitaker. I really, really, really believe that the value of a content creator is not really what they're doing on the microphone and in front of the camera. The value of a content creator is in their comments and their live chat. I really believe that. If you add value to the community, it should show up in the live chat. It should show up in your comment section. If I scan your comment section and they're super engaged and they're talking about, they're having a good time. If I go to your live chat and they're all keying and it's like a big family reunion, to me, that means you're adding a lot of value that people feel comfortable engaging with. On the same note, if I go through your comment section, all y'all doing is cussing each other out, talking about each other's mamas and their dogs and your crusty left toenail, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if you add in value, my guy or my girl. Maybe so, but I don't think so. If I go to your live chat and all y'all doing is fighting, okay, I don't know if you're adding value. So my point in that is I like adding value on this live chat. So I'll say something like, hey, let's go to this content creator and let's all go subscribe to their channel and drop green hearts in the chat. Right? That makes my little cold, dead heart just so happy when I see people saying, I don't know what these green hearts mean, but I found out that it was Jason sent his audience over to my channel to support me. And we got 200 new subscribers. That makes my little cold, dead, shriveled up heart so happy. Okay. I would much rather utilize the power of this audience to do stuff like that. Cantifa, they're going to keep doing Cantifa. They gonna keep. We know that they know they're jealous of Erica. They know it. They know it. So I don't even try to engage them. So that's story time with Wit. All right, what do we got here? Thank you so much for the 5. Can you ask Nick, the attorney, if TPUSA's case is weakened if they brought in a lot of money, like Candace suggested? I will absolutely ask Nick. I know that yesterday. By the way, Nick Brooks. And I need to see if he's done another video pertaining to it. He was collecting the information. Nick does like to have all of his information in order about the specific case that he's talking about, not just a generalization or whatever like that, which I think is very admirable. I'm all about it. So I wanted to give him space, and I hadn't talked to him today. So as soon as I find out, let me just check real quick. But if he's able or whatever like that, maybe we'll do it tomorrow if he's able to hop on, because Candace is not going live tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that during Friday Night Lights. Okay, at the current moment, I don't think that he's done anything new. He did do the cease and desist a couple of days ago, but that was for the Wolf of was it Wolf of Wall Street, Wolf of Finance? It was for that guy. So I will reach out to him and see. Maybe he wants to come on tomorrow. We can do a little recap, if you will, talk about what he's learned about cease and desist as well as defamation. Let me say this. I don't think so, because I don't believe that their cease and desist was only about the money. There are other things, claiming that there was a cover up, claiming that people at TPUSA were involved or knew something or before or after the fact, all that kind of stuff like that. That's the stuff that Erica was at Fort Huachuca or whatever. There's a lot of other stuff that was in that cease and desist. Hence why I keep saying, why don't you show it to us, Candace? Like, show us. Because I think we only read like 5 paragraphs. That's not even a full page, right? So I want to know, like, what all was in that letter? I want to know what was in that letter, friend. So back to the point, I don't think it would weaken even if they did bring $250 million in. So, I mean, they brought money in. Okay. That's what they do. They have donors and they accept donations. Like, why would that be obscure? Everybody's eyes were on them for a hot minute. And also, we don't know that $250 million was just donations or through sales. Because again, they're selling books, they're selling merch, they're selling all this other stuff along with it. Is that $250 of true revenue or $250 in sales and such of that nature minus revenue? I mean, minus overhead. So I think there's some other things that we need to learn. At the current moment, I don't know that they brought in $250 million. Candace hasn't proven it. But I appreciate it, though. Thank you so much for that. What happened to Mitch? That's a great question. I don't know. What happened to the lady? Was it a lady? Yeah, it was a lady that sent her that voicemail message about Erica and whatever happened in Lithuania or Romania or whatever. Whatever happened to her, right? What happened to that assassination plot? She literally was talking about security and didn't mention the quote unquote assassination plot of her own life. Okay. I think at this point we can all agree that Candace is just playing games. Like she's not serious. She's not serious. What happened to Egyptian planes? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can start a whole what about what happened to segment of the show. Like what happened to these things? I mean, remember Fort Huachuca was going to be the one that caused the government to fall down on their knees in sackcloth and ashes and repent that they were a part of it. Remember that? I don't think that's happened. Not a bit. As far as I know, that's a great question. As far as I've seen, Candace has sued twice. USA Today, well, actually once that I know of for a fact. And it was USA Today and about the there was that slander case that she sued the newspaper and lost. But she has been sued several times, and I'm sure more times than I found. There's not an easy way to find all of the lawsuits that she's been involved in or that have been attached to her. Yeah, like people going to buy merch after Charlie's death. I mean, yeah, I mean, is this $250 of donations or $250 because of sales and merchandise moving? Because again, just had a book release. You had all that merchandise, everybody buying that shirt, all that kind of stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's $250 million. I'm not even saying $250 million existed. I said they made $1 million. Now prove me wrong. Candace got to prove that she's right. I think this is false bravado. I really think she's really bothered. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me bring in the body language expert. Dr. Enrique, he talked about this and he made us some good points that I think we would benefit from just to check out if you had not seen it yet. Let me bring him in very quickly. And it's probably about 8-9 minutes. So it's not a long segment. So let me bring that over real quick and get your thoughts on this. And because I thought Dr. Jesus was right on the money. Because he brings up something that we all heard, and I think it might be good for us to, just kind of be clear on. So let me get this out of the way. Bring this on. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
We need to talk about Candace Owens now because she has finally received a cease and desist letter from Turning Point following months of public claims in which she accused the group of responsibility for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And I know that so many of you who follow Candace Owens are going to say, she never said that explicitly. She never said that. But I mean, it's like we understand how English works and we understand how implying works. And if you imply something and imply that in every single one of your shows, and well, let's say you're going to get a notice about that. And she was noticed when Erica Kirk flew all the way to her city, to Kansas City, and set the record straight with Turning Point's lawyers. In recent remarks, Owens urged donors to the organization to seek refunds, calling on supporters to withdraw their backing. The dispute is further complicated by the fact that Owens remains bound by a non-disclosure agreement with TPUSA that includes a non-disparagement provision. Apologize for my English, but that's another thing that we found out today, or at least I found out today. And yes, there's people that say that Erica Kirk is
I would love, like, again, when you're talking to your friends or whoever at Cantifa, ask them, why did Candace never tell you all that she was working under contract with Turning Point while she was talking trash about them? Wouldn't that have just been like something maybe you should have told people? It just seems like she conveniently doesn't mention stuff. Kind of like Officer Tatum. He doesn't mention that he's the one that procures her merchandise. So when you buy a shirt or a mug or whatever, it comes through Brandon Tatum's merch store. He ships it out. That might have been something that maybe mentioned. That could have been something useful information. You know what I'm saying? Or the fact that, Candace, you're under obligation with Turning Point. Because if you go back, if you rewind time back to when she got let go from Daily Wire, and that video was exposed about a month and a half ago with Jeremy Boring talking about what happened, you notice that he kept talking about how she breached their contract. It seems like to me that she has a very serious problem with breaching contracts and breaking contracts. Because then if you rewind even further, remember the whole thing with her apartment that she was staying in New York or Manhattan or whatever, that luxury apartment that she claims that there was mold in and the landlord hadn't taken care of, and she refused to what? Pay the rent. She violated the contract and ended up getting sued by the landlord and lost. So it just seems to me that she has a little propensity to kind of finagle, kind of finesse, if you will, contracts and finesse things like that. Why did she not tell Cantifa that, oh yeah, by the way, I'm under contract with them, but I'm dogging them out? I don't think anybody would have thought that, well, they probably would have thought that was weird, but like, why are you under contract with them, but you're talking smack about them? Because they're paying you and you still get talking trash. I don't know how that works. Maybe that's why she doesn't understand people getting fired, because she always gets fired like that. I don't know. Just something to think about. Let's go.
Making herself a millionaire over this. So it would mean that Charlie Kirk was making himself a millionaire over Turning Point, because Erica Kirk is basically doing what Charlie was doing when he was alive. She's just continuing whatever Charlie Kirk was doing. So I don't know how that works, but you know that you cannot argue with some people. And Dave Rubin, I have to say thanks, Dave, for...
This is the infamous chicken parm, Dave Rubin versus Candace in the chicken parm discussion. I'll let Dr. Enrique continue, but I just want to make sure we've kind of heard this already, but it's still pretty interesting to hear him talk about it. Let's go.
Coming forward, and I was going to say coming out, but he already did a long time ago, pun intended. But he said in this post, the last time I saw Candace at my house in 2022, all she talked about for an hour was how much she hated Charlie. I remember it vividly because the other two people she was ranting against that night were Ivanka and Jared, whom we had just met and had dinner with a few days before, and who couldn't have been kinder, more decent people. Yeah, that is 100% true. And when she claimed this didn't happen or it's a Zionist lie, ask her if she enjoyed the chicken parmesan. So, well, it's Dave Rubin and Candace already come forward saying that he's lying, but okay, this is actual receipts. This is actual receipts. Natalie Denise, thank you for sharing this clip. Candace tries to act macho and challenges TPUSA amid a freshly served cease and desist. Let's watch the clip, because why not? Let's watch this.
And I told you guys that you'd have better luck from keeping the sun rising into the sky than to try to keep me from investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination. In other words, Turning Point USA, you'd have better luck suing the Sun. Get your lawyer to send a cease and desist to the Sun, and you will have better luck in terms of getting it to stop than from getting me to look away to what happened to Charlie. That's how I feel. Okay. And you can just take that as a fact, take it to the bank, do what you have to do, get your donors. And I'm sure you got a lot of them to fund, whatever it is. But I told my lawyer, here's what you do, go back to them and say, how much money do you want? This contract stuff is just, it's done, guys. This whole thing of contracting people so that you can be a bad person and getting a lawyer to read times, it's done. It's over.
Okay, one thing that I've noticed, I told you that back in the day, I one thing that I watched from Candace was that first episode of Becoming Brigitte. I think that was the documentary that she made about Brigitte Macron. And I said, okay, that she knows how to organize ideas. She knows how to, let's say, she knows how to persuade with words. I gave her that. That's something that is not going to change. I noticed in this clip that she doesn't have the same, let's say, ability with the words. And it's undeniable. You cannot deny that Candace Owens has a lot of ability with words. That's something that she just has it. By being able to just craft these live streams, just basically, let's say, not improvise, because she has a production team behind this, but she has a way with words. She didn't have that fluency. She was like not that fluent in this clip. She was, she should have come more, confident and, I don't care what you're doing, more nonchalant, more even counter-threatening. But she did not come out as that. I found that odd. This is still a bit more of the clip.
It's dead on arrival. Name your price, Turning Point USA. How much would you like? Would you like all of your money back? What's it worth? What's it worth to you, actually? I want to know the number, because then I'm going to go online, start a GoFundMe, and raise it overnight.
Okay, before she jumps in, I just wonder, why does she say, do you want all of your money back? Why does she not give an actual amount? Do you think she doesn't know the amount? Is it $80,000, $50,000, more, less? Who knows? But do you think she doesn't know the amount that she got paid from Turning Point? And then why is she saying, do you want all of your money back? Like, why didn't you just say the amount? Do you want the whole 50K back? Like, why did she not say that? I just thought that was interesting. And I'm going to let Dr. Jesus finish up.
Okay, so it's not like Candace doesn't stutter or never stutters. She does stutters every now and then. You know that happens when your mind is racing and you're trying to connect one thought to the other. It's something that is normal in every single person. There's no one out there speaking in front of a camera, even if they have every single thought aligned in their mind, they're going to stutter a bit. But she's stuttering more than usual, much more than usual. So it's like she is, and what she's saying about the contract, about the money that the Turning Point was is not the usual clarity that she has at the same time. So in terms of a statement, and in terms of how Candace is speaking right now, it's like, well, she's maybe actually afraid of this.
That's how much people care about getting to the truth. So you're going to see how much people actually care about learning what happened on September 10th. There are things that you should value above money in life.
I don't think that this is about money. I don't think that they're thinking that they're going to suck you dry of money. I think that this is about stopping, as you said that you were going to stop if Erica, all right, or your husband told you to stop, and Erica told you to stop, and you said, nah, I will just keep going. I'm not gonna read this one. This is too long, but this is interesting. I don't have anything personal against Candace, says Ashton Forbes, but this says that she had contractual obligation to not make disparaging comments about TPUSA due to being paid by them until very recently. And I'm gonna show the text. And I said that there's an ongoing contractual obligation to not make any disparaging, false, misleading, or otherwise defamatory comments about TPUSA. And I can imagine.
Okay, I just want to ask again, Cantifa is down pretty bad. They're in a bad way. But in this clip right here, why did Candace not tell you, Cantifa, that on December 2nd, she was served a letter that highlighted her ongoing contractual obligations? Why did she not bring that up? Why did she not tell you this? And I mean, it's a small thing. It's not like earth shattering, but you do remember this though, right?
But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20.
So according to Candace's logic, if you don't share pieces of information, that's a lie. So she lied by not telling you, Cantifa, that on December 2nd, she was served a letter. She lied by not telling you on December 15th that she was served a letter as well. This is now the third letter that she's received. So maybe, just maybe, all of this duck and cover and Candace is the greatest thing ever. Maybe you need to save that and start asking some better questions. Why is it that she's not telling you this stuff? But she wants y'all to pay her legal fees. She did say that. But why did she not tell you that? Oh yeah, by the way, I've been getting paid from these people, and they've been talking to me. They reached out to me on the 2nd. They reached out to me on the 1st. I'm on the 2nd. They reached out to me again on the 15th. Yeah, we talked about it. Why did they not? Why did she not?
Maybe you'll listen to Candace Owens, or you are paying attention to Candace Owens. Let's think about that for a second. And you could say, but Candace is more concerned with the truth than to follow any. She's willing to break the terms of contract just because of her friend Charlie, who was murdered. You could have a point. You could make that argument, and that could be an actual argument. Okay, if I want to find out about how my best friend was murdered, I won't care about being silenced or anything. I have my attorneys. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm worried about the guy who constructed you, right? But then we have a problem with this. And the problem is a conflict of interest, an underlying conflict of interest that we're finding out now. Why are we finding out about this now and not before? Because the first person with let's say the most interest in having this exposed is Candace herself. She must have revealed that this is a thing from, since forever, since she began, doing the research. Because, yeah, that would have explained a lot of things, or at least maybe not explain a lot of things, but set the record straight about any of her ties with a Turning Point. Why didn't she say about why, of all that she has said, of all that she has, all this crazy stuff that she has come up with, because I have no other way of saying it, why did she skip the part that she was on this contractual obligation until very recently with a Turning Point? I mean, I think that it was an important piece of information for her relationship with everything, with her audience, with in general. And there's also this. I want to show you. There's a screenshot from A.L. Jacoby. Now that Tim Pool and Dave Rubin have both confirmed that Candace Owens was bad-mouthing Charlie behind his back, this tweet is worth revisiting. A year before Charlie was murdered, Candace said that she hadn't followed him in a long time and implied that they were no longer friends. Maybe did not imply that they were no longer friends, but she said, I wasn't following Charlie and I definitely did not delete any photos. We have a lot of discussions offline and we've both grown a lot since the early days of TPUSA. That is English. In case you don't know how English works, that is English. We have both grown a lot since the early days of Turning Point. What do you think that means? Okay, we have grown maybe into our separate journeys. That is okay. But why wasn't she following him? That I found that a bit strange. I mean, again, let's say she wanted to set the record straight from this this AF post from what's September? When was this? I sometimes forget. This was from May of 2024. Interesting. Oh, Some time ago. So as well, Erica Kirk says the aftermath of her husband's assassination revealed who in her life was real and who was fake. She explained that the tragedy exposed those who exploited her husband's fame versus those who truly cared. I wonder who she's talking about. I don't know. I need some clues.
When all of this happened, you really see who your true friends are. You see who is in your corner. You see who is writing, excuse me, this microphone, who is writing my husband's coattails and who genuinely cared and who genuinely wanted to be there for us as a family. And anyways, everyone, does their best to pour into you and be there for you. And
all right. So what are the things that again, I do want to focus on the midterms, even if Candace said that the midterms were not important. They are important, and if Turning Point is the way to win those midterms in one way or another, well, I think that has to be supported in some way. But having said that, I can disagree with some people that Turning Point invites to their those massive events that they organize. That could be a thing as well. Yes, this could be complex, but a cease and desist letter is not that complex. That is not complex at all, and that is why they sat down back then, Erica and Candace, and it's like they set the record straight. And especially give Candace all the information that she needs and be open with all the information that she could request, not because they want Candace to be in the loop, because they really couldn't care less about Candace. That's the reality. But to make sure that Candace is aware of what is going on with the public side of Turning Point. So if she lies publicly on her live stream, on her show, then they can sue her for actual defamation, because they can prove that she knew the truth about Turning Point, what was going on at Turning Point, what was going on with Erica Kirk. So if she keeps lying, then they have all the grounds, all the ingredients to sue her. I don't know. She seems happy about that. Maybe that will be a good show for her. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bad language guy. Much love.
Shout out to Dr. Jesus. Okay, I got one more thing, then I'm gonna get out of here because my audio is not working correct. I don't know what happened, but the audio is acting wonky, so I need to restart my computer. But I do want to end on something. Shout out to here. Let me pull this in for us all to enjoy. Slippery Slope over there on the Twitter space. On the Twitter, shout out to Slippery Sloop. What does she have here? TPUSA's financial disclosures are a matter of public record, Candace. Oh, okay, here. And it's a tag on it. Right? She says here, today on the show, $250 million raked in since Charlie's assassination. Employees work like horses and given no reason at all for their termination. All right, sounds pretty bad. We have the recording. Join us live. All right. And so Slippery Sloop says this. TPUSA's financial disclosures are a matter of public record, Candace. The figure of $250 million raked in since Charlie's assassination lacks any verifiable evidence. Your insinuation of financial impropriety just adds more fuel to the eventual, please forgive me, lawsuit. Tell you what, though, why don't you put up or shut up? Let's see a detailed account of your personal financials and those of your business. Let us all see how much money you have made since Charlie's death. I bet you won't do it. All right, ready? So here it comes. Here's the revenue that Turning Point brought in last year. And that was $85 million. The expenses was $81 million. All right. Assets, $26.3 million, and total liabilities, 8.37. Now, hold on, Jason. That was last year in 2024. You are correct. However, we can see that would be a monstrous, if they brought in revenue. And now, mind you, the rumor is that they made 85 during 2025. So that would be a huge jump. I don't think that that's going to work. In 4 months, they brought in $250 million in 4 months. That doesn't even make sense. That's like $75 million. That's like something crazy. That's dang near $75 million a month. That's crazy. All right. But I want to, is this it right here? Oh, let me click right here. I'm getting better at this Twitter thing. Sorry. Let me click right here. All right, because they asked Grok. They asked Grok, and darn it. All right, just got done patting myself on the back saying I got better, and now I'm doing this. Look at this, man. What kind of boomer activity is this, Jason? All right, let me get my mouse out of the way. All right. They asked Grok, and Grok explained that that was not possible for them to make that much in a year, in less than a year. All right. All right, so here it is. Is $250 million accurate? No. The claim of $250 million in fundraising surge for Turning Point USA, TPUSA, directly following Charlie Kirk's assassination September 25, does not appear accurate based on publicly available reports and financial disclosures. Here's a breakdown of what is evidence. Turning Point overall historical fundraising totals 389. Hold on. I don't want to hear this. I want to see what they were just telling me. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, there's Candace. All right. I lost it. All right. Let me pull. All right. Let's pull it back in. Okay. So you can see clearly. Run over to X. Check it out. Let me find this again. I am just terrible at this, man. I got to get better. All right. So I got this. But click on show more. And it just opens up to. Okay, I found it. Here it is right here. There we go. All right. I'm going to get out of here, y'all, real quick. Just so you can see it. And all right, Turning Point's overall historical fundraising totals $389 million from its founding in 2018, from 2012 through mid 2023. So to say they got $250 million in 4 months is crazy, according to the IRS tax filings, and that's according to Forbes. More recent figures indicate the organization raised approximately $85 million in revenue for fiscal year 2024 pre-assassination, primarily from charitable contributions. There's no documented evidence of a sudden $250 million influx in the months after Charlie's death. All right. Post-assassination reports describe a surge in donations and support for TPUSA, including pledges of like $1 million from a donor, Lynn Fries, to expand chapters. But these are in the low millions at most in the organization itself. For the organization itself, TPUSA has not publicly disclosed their exact post-death fundraising totals, and no credible sources confirm anything approaching $250 million. Projections suggest the group could continue to generate over $100 million annually under new leadership, but that's an ongoing estimate, not a one-time surge tied to the assassination. All right. I just want to read that real quick and give you a chance. Like, Candace, where did you get that information from? And Cantifa, I know y'all are down bad. I know you're feeling like you're 0-3 going. I mean, you're 0-3, you're down bad. But start asking some better questions, Cantifa, for real. Like, it doesn't make sense that y'all allow this woman to just say these things without any verification, without any proof, without any evidence. It just doesn't make sense. But I want to say thank you all so much for tapping in with me this evening. I got 2 more supers. Observing Chaos says this with the 279 Canadian. They are bashing Erica Kirk on Candace's chat. Okay. Well, I mean, that's par for the course. That's who Candace is. We try not to do that. We do dunk on Candace over here, though. Thank you so much for this. Brandon has said in lies about selling Candace's merch, but not since she's gone nuts. Sorry, I'm late to this. I was cooking. Well, hopefully we're making some chicken parm. I have heard that Brandon has mentioned that it wasn't a secret that he was doing Candace's merch. It just causes a problem when he wouldn't call her out. Like, well, I know why you wouldn't call her out, because you're making money off of her selling her crazy shirts, her crazy cups, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I was calling it out. But I want to say thank y'all so much, everybody. I appreciate all of y'all for tapping in. Earlier today, I sat down with a security expert from my own church to talk about how churches can prepare themselves and start training and being vigilant, if you will, on church security. That video is up. Definitely go check it out. It's a very short video, but it gives a lot of good information I think that you could pass along to your own church and your church leadership if they don't already have a security plan or a church safety plan. Thank you all so much. I do have a video dropping at like 9 o'clock, so y'all can check that one out as well. I need to figure out what's up with my audio, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'll see you all real soon. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.